And welcome back to the channel. On this video I'm going to be riding the Lyric Graffiti. As you see it right there, this is the 2022 model, and I want to talk a bit about this bike, and I want to compare it, the Lyric Graffiti 2022 model, to the Lyric Graffiti X, because that's the bike I have coming next, and I wanted to give you a comparison of the two bikes. First of all, I want to tell you that when I purchased this bike a little over a year ago, approximately a year and a half, just about now, this bike sold for $32.99, and that's how much I paid for it, and it was free shipping. And let's get on and talk about the comparisons. Turn it on first here, but the comparisons between this bike and the new Lyric Graffiti X. So first of all, the price of the Lyric Graffiti X, if you pay full price without any discounts or anything, it's $39.99. So we're going to go with that price in the comparison here. So it's a $700 difference. And is it worth the $700 difference? Yes. And I'm going to explain why I think it's worth it, and it's going to be to do with what's on the new bike, the Graffiti X, as compared to what the Graffiti has. Now, don't get me wrong, this bike is an awesome bike. Absolutely, I love this bike, and that's why I ride it so much. And that's what interested me in getting the Graffiti X, because I'm familiar with this bike, and if they step it up to another level, then yes, I'm going to be interested for sure. So some of the differences, now the wheel sizes are the same. So we got the 20 by 4-inch wheels, we got the same there, but the tires coming on the Graffiti X are much better. They are CST dual sport tires. They're actually motorcycle tires, and they're going to last a long time, and I'm not anticipating any flat tires or anything like that. So definitely a plus right there. Let's move on to the motor comparison. So this bike here is a 52 volt 2500 watt motor. Definitely has some get up and go once it gets going. And the motor peaks at 4,700 watts. So then we move to the new bike, the Graffiti X, which is a 60 volt. So we're upping the voltage, and we're moving up on the motor from a 2,500 watt that peaks at 4,700, which is this one, 52 volt, to a 60 volt 3,000 watt that peaks at 7,200 watts. So we're definitely getting a little more oomph, not only in the voltage, but in the wattage and peak output. So then we move along to the controller. So the controller on this bike is a 52 volt, a 50 amp controller, which is the BAC 855, the ASI, and so they're upping the controller, is going to the next level for the ASI, the BAC 2000, and so that controller is going to be an 80 amp controller, so we're getting a little more bang right there. Then we move along to the battery. So this bike here has two 17.5 amp hour batteries, which gives you 35 amp hour total, 52 volt. So we're moving to 60 volt, 40 amp hour. So we're getting a bigger, higher quality battery. It's going to have the 21700 Samsung cells. So a plus there. And while we're talking about battery, let's talk about the charger. So the charger that comes with this bike, the 2022 Graffiti, is a 52 volt 3 amp charger. On the Graffiti X, we're getting a 60 volt 8 amp charger, so it's going to charge in a lot greater time. And besides, you're just charging up one battery, whereas on this one I have to charge one battery then charge the other, because there's only one charger unless you purchase a second charger. So definitely a plus there. Some of the other features that the Graffiti X has that this one doesn't even have, or isn't as good, is the suspension. So we're looking at a full suspension on the new bike, the Graffiti X, whereas this one only has a front suspension. You know, I haven't minded the the lack of suspension on this bike until I try to go off-road. Then it becomes really noticeable that, hey, you're missing the full suspension. So it's definitely going to be nice to have the full suspension for sure. The torque, I don't even know. I'm not sure what the torque is on this bike, so I can't tell you exactly what we're looking at here, but I know for a fact that it's not 150 Newton meters of torque. But that is what the Graffiti X is going to offer. So I can tell you that that's going to be more than this. I don't know what this is, but I know it's not 150 for sure. So there is that. Let's move along to the brakes. I should mention the motors once more. They're both direct drive motors on both bikes, so that's no difference. And but let's move along now to the brakes. So the brakes on this are 4-piston Logan brakes, and we're looking at Magura brakes on the new bike, 4 pistons. So we're getting a step up on the brakes for sure too. Full suspension too, I want to mention, as I was speaking earlier, that you don't notice it until you do off-roading, that you miss the full suspension. So if you're going to do any off-roading at all, you definitely want a full suspension. Otherwise you're going to be cursing and swearing before your ride is over. So, but if you're not doing off-roading, then I haven't found this bike to be any problem at all with just the front suspension. But I wouldn't mind doing some off-roading, and the Graffiti X is definitely going to be able to offer that. So all of those features that I told you are an improvement on what we have, and a few other items that the bike is going to offer is full lighting. So this headlight, I know it's the same headlight they're going to be using on the Graffiti X as this one, a 6,000 lumen, and I can tell you for a fact that this 100%, this headlight is as good as you're going to get out there. It's awesome. You're not going to have any problems if you do any night riding at all. This headlight is going to be just fine. But the nice thing about the Graffiti X is it is going to come with, besides the headlight, brake light and tail light that this bike has, it's going to have turn signals, which are going to be handy instead of having to use hand signals. And it does come with a horn, and thank you for that, because this bike didn't have either. And unless you're riding on a shared path, I think the horn for the road is the best, because nobody's going to hear a little dingy bell going off. The horn they're going to hear. So that is definitely a plus as well. And you're still going to be able to put on a rack, just like this bike, a rear rack. I don't have one on this bike, but my plan is to get one for the Graffiti X. And it does not come with mirrors. Neither bike did. I'm probably going to get a pair of mirrors, I think, this time, instead of just one mirror. That's what I'm looking at. And I want to mention also that the weight of the bike, there's a big difference. So this bike, not counting the batteries, is 62 pounds. So a very lightweight bike, whereas the Graffiti X is 84 without the battery. Battery on the Graffiti X weighs, I think they listed it at 34 pounds. 34 or 35 pounds. So anyway, the total weight of the Graffiti X looks like 119 pounds or 120, whereas this bike with the batteries on and all is about 80 pounds with the dual battery setup that I have. So that's about a 40-pound swing. So if you're used to riding a lightweight bike, which I call this one, at 80 pounds or lighter weight, then you may find, and I may find at first, the bike to be a little bit heavy, but it won't take you long to get used to that, riding it. So those are some of the features that are on that bike that's different than the one I've got right now. And I'm going to pull over for a second to get my glove back on. I had to take my glove off to get a bug out of my eye. And so let me pop this back on there. But yeah, and the other thing is this bike only came in two choices of color, black or white, whereas the Graffiti X comes in 3 different colors, choices. The blue, the green, or the black. And I can tell you, by looking at those colors, you can't go wrong with any one of them. They're all awesome. I could take any one of them. But I personally chose the black one. For me, the black just stood out on that particular bike. Every bike seems to have a color that that suits the bike, for me anyway, of whatever choices they have. And so in this case, for myself, I kind of like the look of the black. But like I say, I've seen the green one and I've seen the blue one, and I prefer the black. I am in agreement with some that are saying that the blue bike, they wish it had the black seat instead of the tan color, and I am in agreement of that. I would prefer the black seat with that blue color, but that's just me. I am going to leave a link in the description if you want to go and check out the Graffiti X, because I wanted to mention that I'm filming this video here on the 1st of June, which is Saturday, and I wanted to make mention that the bike, the Graffiti X, you still have an opportunity to get it for a discounted price, 10% off, but you have to act fast because they're only 10% off until the 4th of June, and then after that the price is going to be going back up from what they're saying. So I will leave a link in the description. Check it out and make sure you use my affiliate link to help support the channel, and I will put in there as well the discount code. So at checkout, put in the discount code SPRING10 or SPRING10, and that'll save you 10% off the price of the bike, which is currently the full price that's listed is $39.99. So that'll knock it down 10%. So do it now, like I say, because it's only until June the 4th. So get in on it. Free shipping in the U.S. and the 48 lower states, in the and free shipping in Canada. So get it now while you can before they run out of this next batch of bikes. Shipping is expected in August, which is not that far away. I can't wait, and I'm sure if you've purchased a bike already or are thinking of it, you can't wait either if you do it. So act now, like I say. That's why I want to get out here and shoot this video and let you guys know about it before you can't do it anymore and the price goes up. I mean, it's still a good deal. That's going to do it for this video. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel and help support us, thank you very much for doing that. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell and you'll be notified. And also, if you want to comment on this or any other video, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. I try to read all the comments, and I do my best to answer back questions or comments as they come in. Once again, thank you for joining me on this video, and hey, until next time, keep your wheels on the road. See you later.